We use Adobe products every day, but who are the people behind them? In this video, I'll try to answer that question. Recently, I was lucky enough to get an invitation to visit the Adobe facilities in California. And as usual, it all starts with a killer waiting at the airport. I don't like airports. 1 hour and a coffee later, my Adobe contact finally arrived. Patrick Palmer is a principal product manager at Adobe, and he is the perfect companion for this trip.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Los Angeles.
After touching ground in LA, we head over to the coastal city of Santa Monica. This is the place Adobe has chosen to open the new offices, taking a firm step into the Hollywood feature film industry.
The reason why we're here in LA this week is because we're increasing our footprint in the Hollywood business, and that's hugely exciting as these are about the most complex workflows you could imagine. So we're working with top-notch people here in Hollywood to make sure that the product lives up to the promise that you can do about anything with it. This is where we now have an Adobe Office at the heart of Los Angeles production. So we're in Santa Monica, right next to 3rd Street, and this is where we're opening the office today.
The new office. So let's go inside.
Yeah, let's go. After you, sir. All right.
It's Johnnie.
It is Johnnie, indeed. Are you happy to be back?
This visit is a great opportunity for Patrick to stay in the loop with all the people involved in this new initiative. Among them is Steve Warner. He is the Vice President of Digital Video and Audio, who has been around since the early days of Premiere.
Premiere's had a pretty interesting history, if you've been watching us from afar, and there were times where I think our reputation wasn't as good as we'd like. And I've got a team of people that work for me that they're paid, they do their job, but that's not what makes great products. People that make great products have a passion about what they do and they really care. And it's my job to make sure that that passion and that care and that concern is inspired so that people can take the product to the next step and get us from just another product out there that's not very good to one that's the best.
So that's what led into opening this facility?
It did, because the first time that we started to do this, we did it all from San Jose with people that would reach out a great distance. But sometimes we really needed the ability to sit folks down in front of a machine and show them, as well as showing our products used in an environment that is like what you might expect to see at a post house.
And that's what it's all about here today in the opening of the facility.
That's right.
This is awesome.
And so welcome. So, I love cutting things. At the end of the day, these people want to be creative. They don't want to worry about the tools. They want the tools to help them express creativity. And so we took what we learned about working with customers, about being on site with them, and put together the plan on how to bring Premiere into Hollywood. And this is what that is.
Being present at the inauguration of the Santa Monica offices was an interesting experience. Tomorrow we are heading up north to see the Adobe headquarters in San Jose.
Tomorrow we are actually driving there. We decided to drive in order to,
Don't do it.
Why?
Seriously, it's going to take you 10 hours.
No, 5.5 hours, plus we're gonna do some.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
5 o'clock in the morning. What happened to us?
I don't know, we must be stupid, Johnny. I think we're beating traffic, so no, that seems like a pretty smart idea to me.
So it's only 6 hours to San Jose, eh?
Yeah, right around that. A little less maybe.
6 hours to go.
6 hours to go.
So looking into the future, how much Premiere Pro might help me to be more creative? I'm talking more about artificial intelligence and so on.
The focus for us when we talk about productization is to take out the tedious tasks. If you think of how you would first assemble a rough cut and what it takes to get to that step, machines will be able to help a lot with that moving forward. Everything that's really tedious, that's time consuming, this is where machines can do a lot of good.
But we're still away from computer edit.
I'm not sure if that's all that interesting.
No. That was one of my bad jokes. Wait until you hear one of my good jokes.
Well, it's still a valid question. Can the computer do the edit for you, right? If you get to that moment where all of a sudden there's something there that you didn't see before and that makes it all work, how will you tell the machine what you're looking for if at times it takes that playful moment with your footage for yourself to discover that, right? It's a process. It evolves over time.
For me, it's a bit different. If there's automated editing, all those tons of family videos might be done finally. So here's an idea. Next to the color editing effect, try to include a family mode. I will just do the American flag.
Sure. Oh, there it is.
We finally made it, the Adobe headquarters in San Jose. And corporate PR specialist Leah Cardwell welcomes us with a nice office tour.
I'm the best tour guide here at Adobe, just for you.
The best or the only?
The best.
The best.
We're right at the end of lunch right now, so we have ping pong down here, some pool tables upstairs.
Tell me the truth. This presentation is just for me, huh?
Just for you?
Usually they're really working hard, and you ask them to come down to play ping pong.
I wish I could say they were always. We have basically Adobe branded everything from Bluetooth speakers, chargers, and phone covers, anything you could need.
The building is so big that it even has its own basketball court. It's been completely renewed recently, with one of the floors dedicated specially to Photoshop.
The other cool thing about the Photoshop floor is that we have these time capsule phone booths. So these are working rooms with modern technology, modern phones where employees can come and have a conference call or just use for a focus area. So the first one is from 1990, which is the year that Photoshop 1.0 was launched. Your home floor.
So this is the new space that we have for digital video and audio here in San Jose.
Welcome to the Special Projects Lab. This lab's purpose is to cover a lot of different workflows, especially with third party. But it's not just the newest things, but also things like tape are also covered.
This is ancient. It looks like a museum here. It's
right,
amazing.
right. Well, the reality is there are parts of our geo that's still in heavy use with regards to tape. In this room, we also have to make sure that we test the latest versions of operating systems along in combinations with the hardwares, because we want to make sure that before that goes out to the public, that it works with our applications.
Hello, Hello, David.
Hello, welcome. Come on in.
Thank you.
Welcome to the VR lab. This is where we develop our feature set for VR editing on Mac and Windows operating systems. We have Oculus and Vive and Windows Mixed Reality headsets in here, and a number of consumer-based cameras at this point for the actual recording of the content.
Who needs this? I personally, I don't believe in it.
Sure.
It's a trend, maybe very much like the 3D. Maybe I'm too conventional, maybe I'm too old, I don't know. Maybe it's not there yet. For me personally, anytime you have to put something like that, it's gone, it's done. Do you believe in it?
I do believe in it. But I believe that there's a lot to still figure out in what it's going to mean a few years down the road. This is really, call it a 1.0 technology. It's very new.
What now?
Here, take this controller. That I was putting your finger right here on top of.
Wait, I don't see.
Are we
Premiere is here. The thing is that those things really gives me headache.
On this floor, we also run into David Kuspa. He is the lead designer for Premiere Pro.
David, what is your role in the team?
I'm an experienced designer. I focus mainly on Premiere Pro. It's the whole experience, not just the pixels that are painted on the screen, but it's the whole workflow for the editor from start to finish.
So you know all the shortcuts and all the way to get to a certain...
I did know them at one time, but I've probably forgotten many of them. It's a huge, huge application with lots of features.
What is your biggest achievement as the person who actually in charge on such an editing system?
When I first started, Premiere was not very highly regarded and had a long ways to go to meet the needs of a professional editor. And going through that process, going through that journey has been really fun and exciting and rewarding. And I would say that, now that Premiere is the #1 video editor in use, that's our biggest achievement.
Patrick, your team is everywhere. Santa Monica, San Jose, San Francisco, Seattle. How do you deal with that? How do you actually combine and pull all the wires to come that the end result will be a working product?
It's truly a collaborative effort, getting organized in the way we want to work as a team, having that team spirit, the team culture. It actually requires us to get together on a regular basis. It's also quite nice actually to use that as an opportunity to brainstorm, to have hallway talk. That's one of the reasons why I like to be here in San Jose, as I run into so many people, not even just my own crew, but talking to people working on Experience Cloud, on Acrobat. There is always something.
One thing which is of course on my mind, and I have to ask since I'm here, why pushing forward all the time, actually showing new features instead of slow down, lock everything, make sure it's working well?
I think we were all going at crazy speeds, mostly because new standards came about. Think of high dynamic range, wide color gamut, higher resolutions, actually everything going digital. If you look at the last 10 years, there's been a lot of change that had to be managed. At times at the risk of going too fast. We make mistakes. We try to eliminate all of those along the way and do heavy quality engineering on it. It's also true that fortunately, at the moment it doesn't look like there is a new hyper trend, and that also gives opportunity to slow down.
Good to know that actually you're aware of the issues and you're aware of the willingness of the crowd, of the people, of the professionals, actually to slow down a little bit.
Absolutely.
We had enough touring just for today. It's time to rest, as tomorrow we depart to our last stop in this journey. We are taking the road again, this time the Adobe offices in San Francisco.
We are the second largest office in the Adobe universe, behind only the headquarters, and we're in a beautiful 1905 historic hardware warehouse that's been here and led the hardware development in the West, and now Adobe's leading the digital tools revolution in the very same building.
And it's just by coincidence that we kind of look the same, am I right?
We do.
Almost. Oh, the three of us. Wait, I need a longer hair.
We have a lot in common.
Ted Formidis is the service manager here at Adobe San Francisco. He knows a lot about this building and he's happy to share the knowledge with us.
All of Adobe's major business units are represented here in San Francisco. The Creative Cloud business is actually headquartered here in San Francisco.
So we are the cloud.
You are in the cloud. You are literally in the cloud.
Right.
Adobe likes to be very creative with its brand identity, and here are some examples of what's been constructed to enhance that. Here we have the gumballs, which we have in San Francisco. This is a plastic lucite creation that now we have to buy gumballs by the crate here in San Francisco for our employees. Some of the other offices got coffee beans and sugar, pencils and pencil shavings, balloons, and even a live aquarium with goldfish in it.
In-house dentist, because so much chewing gum.
Yeah.
I see everybody's chewing gum.
We don't have an in-house dentist, but we are very high on our service levels here, so that's a great idea for the future.
Let's go.
This is a good example of Adobe's working environment. Everything is very open and collaborative. Like many offices, we've eliminated private offices, gone away from cubicles, and now we're embracing an open, collaborative environment where all our employees can work together and communicate more effectively. I always like to show the break rooms and the social areas on these tours. This is the coffee room. Being a software company full of engineers, we have every coffee known to man. We have espresso in every break room. We have drip, we have pour over, we have brewed coffee. In the corner, we even have a coffee robot.
Where is the barista?
Right there. The barista's right there. It's a Linux-powered Linux device that will brew coffee cup by cup.
As a final touch, we climbed up to the rooftop to get some nice panoramic shots of the city. But before I leave Adobe, I have one last question for Patrick. It's my duty to ask.
When it comes to product quality, of course, as like any other software, there are ups and downs, there are errors, there are sometimes bugs, but there are some flaws. What are you doing in order to eliminate those?
We've actually just released an update to Premiere Pro, which probably has the largest number of bugs addressed in a very long time. And that's not by accident. We clearly notice that there is a lot of conversations on forums, that there is also feedback from our enterprise customers. This is not an isolated thing, right? We've seen a bit of a peak there, and we've also put a system in place. So if you now click on Send Feedback from the Help menu in Premiere Pro, it will take you straight to a forum that allows for a couple of really cool things. A, you can enter a bug request there. B, you can see what others have been asking for and just say, +1, I have that problem too. That will help us a great deal.
So you are monitoring this forum?
Absolutely. This is also again about balance and making sure that whatever comes next, it's so solid that you can absolutely rely upon it. We need to make sure that there is opportunity for us to respond to that so you can keep going.
Patrick, thank you very much for a very special few days. I've seen here really dedicated people that really care about what they do, and I'm talking about Adobe Premiere because that was the intention of my visit, to see the faces and the people behind the product. So I'm very much looking forward to see what's next. Thank you very much.
Thank you, it's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.